All right, well, hello and happy Monday, Central Georgia. It's Meteorologist Ansley Parker here. It is the start of a brand new week, and we are starting it off like we always do with a look at the extended forecast. It is also the start of a much colder week as well, so you're probably waking up to some numbers this morning that had you a little bit shocked. I know it had me shocked, even though I knew it was coming. And we are in just kind of an abnormally cool day today that will lead us into a little bit of a different story heading into the rest of the week. So I'm going to talk a lot about temperatures today, but we also do have another substantial rain chance in the 7-day forecast. So I'm going to touch a lot on that and the details that we have as of right now. And that is kind of the main things that we're going to focus on as we go throughout the rest of this stream. Now, we're looking at the sky cams right now. I want to just off the bat go ahead and point out the Perry sky cam has been knocked out since Friday night. I'm not sure if the rain and the wind over in that area had some issues with our sky cam. Our team is working on getting it back up online, but what you're seeing from Perry is definitely not current. It is a couple of days old. I just wanted to be able to show all the sky cams, and unfortunately I had to include Perry in the 4-panel sky cam. So you're looking at the other ones. They all have a live feed. I mean, check out the skies in Dublin, in Warner Robins, and here in downtown Macon. I mean, crystal clear, blue as could possibly be, and we do not have even any clouds out there, and that's not going to change for the rest of the day. Today's going to be absolutely beautiful. What you see outside just really doesn't change, and it's going to be nice. It's just going to be really chilly. It's not only chilly here, but it's chilly across lots of the eastern United States right now. We've had this front that came through. Obviously, it brought us our rain chances the other day, but it has really brought in a much cooler air mass to the southeast as well. So you can see it's not just us. The Carolinas are a little bit colder. Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, all of these areas are sitting under a much colder air mass, and we just so happen to be involved in this as well. And that is statewide. Again, it's not just us here in Central Georgia. We're actually comparable to what's going on up in northern Georgia. 36 degrees in Rome, 38 degrees here in downtown Macon. So chilly statewide, and it's going to stay that way through the rest of the day today. Across our area specifically, our northern counties right now are sitting in the mid 30s, and down in our southern counties, we're in the mid to upper 30s, one low 40 on the board. And other than that, again, no matter where you are, whether you're in the low 30s, the mid 30s, the uppers, it's just feeling a bit chilly, not only because the actual temperatures are cold, but for several other reasons as well. This is a lot colder than this time yesterday, and it's not just yesterday. I mean, it's the several days before that as well. We have been on such a warm streak and so much closer to average for this time of year for the last week or so. We actually had record-breaking days. On Friday, the high temperature was 81 degrees, breaking the record of 81 set back in 1986. So we have had a stretch of abnormally warm weather. Now, to dip the other direction probably does feel like a little bit of a shock to the system. It definitely does for me. So I'd imagine for others, it probably feels the same way. Still, at 11 a.m. this morning, we're a good 9 to up to 15 and 16 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. This morning, this map was showing values that were close to 30 degrees colder than this time yesterday. So overall, again, this is a huge transition for us. Luckily, it is a short-lived transition. As we head into the rest of the week, these temperatures are going to start working their way back up to numbers that we'll be a little more familiar with, and the week ahead is just going to feel a little bit less bitter. One of the reasons, actually, I'm sure even the cold weather lovers would be okay with this, but I think everyone can agree that this is something that we could do without with the temperatures that we have right now. We have had really gusty winds over the last couple of days. That front that came through was really powerful. It brought a huge change in pressure, and that is kind of what's driving the winds that we're seeing over the last 2 days. Yesterday, to give you some perspective, we were in a wind advisory for the entire day. The wind gusts yesterday were up to 40 miles an hour. So that is not going to be the case today, but you probably still notice the wind gusts throughout this afternoon. We still have gusts that are over 25 miles an hour at times, but they're all kind of hovering in that 20 to 25 mile an hour range. And that is still, I mean, that's about half of the speed of the wind gusts that we saw yesterday. So generally, it is a little bit better, but it's not necessarily totally gone. These winds are still impactful, and they're still noticeable as you make your way out the door, probably mostly because they are making the air outside feel so much more bitter. I stepped outside for just a few minutes ago earlier, and it was absolutely frigid. When the wind hit me, ooh, I just was ready to run back inside. So I mean, the feels like numbers, you can tell that just by looking at the wind chill here. The feels like numbers are still a good 10 degrees cooler than the actual air temperature. Remember, we were on the temperatures just a minute ago. We were sitting somewhere in the mid to upper 30s across the area. That one low 40 there in Warner Robins. all of these temperatures are a good 10 degrees cooler than the actual air temperature. So we still, even at 11 a.m., feel like we're in the mid to upper 20s in a lot of places and the low 30s for those of us who are lucky enough to finally feel like we are out of the 20s. So that's just how today is going to go, unfortunately. The breeze is not going anywhere for the rest of the afternoon, and the temperatures themselves are not going to get very warm. Today's high temperature is going to be right around 47 degrees. So that is well below average for this time of year. And just generally, that's not a super warm number. But once you add on the breeze that's going to be out there today, remember we just saw the feels like numbers are a good 10 degrees colder than actual air temperature. So that 47 probably going to feel more like a 37, which is definitely going to be a little bit chilly for the rest of the day. So if you're looking to be outdoors today, you're trying to be out and about, you're looking to plan your day, keep your jacket on you. It is going to be frigid. The one kind of silver lining we have here, actually we have two. One, we've got sunshine all day long, so the skies are going to stay clear for the entire day today. Hopefully when you're out in the sunshine, it helps a little bit with how bitter it feels outside. Two, this is going to be the coldest day on the 7-day forecast. So the numbers only get warmer from here. If you can make it through today, you can make it through the rest of the week. So let's talk a little bit more about that sunshine. The satellite and radar right now, this is the picture across most of the state of Georgia and then portions of the deep south as well. Quiet. I mean, and I like to use this view a lot because I look for what the next weather maker is so that you can kind of see it out in the distance and see where it's coming from and how it might impact us next. But there's really nothing to point to when you look southeast at this view across the area. I mean, it is going to be completely quiet for the next couple of days, and the only thing that we really have that's notable here is up here in North Georgia. Now actually, this is what you're looking at is some cloud cover here, but they did have a little bit of moisture up there in North Georgia. In fact, you may be able to see that kind of at the top of your screen here just below the banner. Mixed in some of this cloud cover actually has been some flurries today. So northern Georgia did actually see some flurries up in the mountain areas, so higher elevations. And they had that early this morning, so a couple of areas may still potentially be experiencing that, or this is just played so far back that it picked up on those early this morning. So that's definitely not the case for us. Don't get me wrong. We do not have winter weather moving into our area. Actually, what I was trying to emphasize was that it is as quiet as can be here across the region, and that does not change for the rest of the day today. So let's play the future view forward. Actually, first, let me talk a little bit about what we saw over the weekend, because you may be familiar with the drought conditions here in our area. We are really paying attention to when we get rain and how much of it we actually end up getting. So we did have a really good rainmaker over the weekend. We had rain on Friday, and then we also had rain throughout the day on Saturday. So that amounted to actually some decent totals across our area. Up in our northern counties, even in the lightest, most sparse places, we still saw close to an inch, if not just over it. So areas were able to get measurable rainfall no matter where you were. And again, those are kind of the lighter areas. In the heavier spots, we saw over 2 inches of rainfall, where you see the green and the yellowing colored. That's where we saw at least up to an inch, if not slightly over, and some of these places saw over 2 inches of rain. The heaviest totals was down in Houston County, portions of Twigg, and portions of Bleckley as well. This is kind of where we had a stronger thunderstorm earlier in the day on Saturday, and that actually amounted in totals that were over 4.5 inches here in Houston County. And then outside of that, we saw the same kind of thing that we saw in the northern counties, over 2 inches in a couple of the heavier spots. Everybody's seeing at least 1 inch, and again, in really select places, over 3, close to 4 inches of rainfall. So across the area, this is great for us. This will definitely be helpful for our totals for the month, and hopefully did something in terms of the drought conditions here in our area. Right now, we don't know. We don't have a new one just yet. This one actually is from last week, so this is not updated with the rainfall totals that you just saw. We likely could see those rainfall totals make at least a slight impact to the area, but this is how things stood before we got that rainfall event. Pretty extreme in terms of the drought conditions across our area here. What you see in red is extreme drought, and then what you see in orange is severe drought. Only very select counties here in our area are in moderate drought conditions. Everybody else is in under a little bit more of a serious drought situation across our area. So rainfall is something that we definitely are going to be looking for. We've kind of been in a below average rainfall situation since September of last year. So we have had drought conditions for many months to end the year of 2025 and to kick off the year of 2026. So we're trying to get our monthly average back on track. Right now, we are doing okay. I don't necessarily think we are going to make the monthly average for the month of February. We would have to get around 4.5 inches of rainfall to make the monthly average. I think we're trending closer to seeing 2 or 3. But we will see how that totals as we go into this upcoming weekend, and I'll have more information on that as we get closer to the end of the month as well. So in terms of rain, let's talk a little bit more about that, because like I said, it's going to be a quiet next couple of days, but that does not mean that there's not rainfall in the forecast. So Monday and Tuesday, today and tomorrow, are going to be extremely quiet. We have no rain chances in the forecast, but obviously that does eventually change. By Wednesday, really slight rain chances, not anything that's going to make a major impact to your day. By Thursday, definitely something that is going to impact you, and definitely something that can hopefully result in some rainfall totals here in our area. Thursday is kind of this rain chance tapering off, and I'll talk a little bit more about that here on the future view. So like I said, for the next 2 days, there's really not going to be a ton to worry about rainfall wise. Monday is going to be completely clear and quiet. Tuesday is going to be a rinse and repeat forecast. Waking up in the morning, you'll wake up to skies that are like they are right now, crystal clear, blue, and you don't have any rain chances in the morning, and that carries you all the way into Tuesday evening as well. So no threat of rain for Monday or for Tuesday. Heading into Wednesday, you just saw on that graphic, a 10% chance of rain starts to make its way into the picture. Now, it's really going to be a story of mostly dry conditions across the area, but when we look at the future view, you can obviously see something's different. We've got more cloud cover in the area, and our winds have gone from the northwest to coming out of the southwest. So that's important for 2 reasons. One, that's going to be filtering more moisture into our area. That's part of why the cloud cover begins to increase, because we're just getting more moisture coming into our area. So that is going to fuel us for potential showers should something come along and spur those showers along. But also, it's going to knock the temperatures up a good bit as well. Instead of getting this northwesterly breeze that's filtering in cooler air, now we get this southwesterly breeze that's filtering in moisture from the Gulf and some warmer temperatures as well. So Monday morning, you'll wake up to more cloud cover. It'll feel different outside. And then as we head into the afternoon, the 10% chance of rain is going to be for what you see just in teeny tiny portions of your screen. A light sprinkle or two that tries to pop up, but otherwise, again, Wednesday, it's not going to be a majorly impactful day. There's no reason to go canceling plans. You may just want to kind of duck and dodge a sprinkle from here or there. It's one of those kind of showers where it won't even bother you to be outside. So that will be Wednesday, but the real rain chance comes into the picture on Thursday. So Thursday is beyond our short range model, so we have to look long range here. But what's going to be happening is an organized system moving into our area. So remember, we have our flow coming in from the southwest, and then we have a cold front that's going to be moving in from the northwest. That's going to be the driving force for the rain chances on Thursday. You can see it starting to organize here over Tennessee on Thursday morning, but it does kind of spur up a couple of scattered showers in our area by Thursday morning. So Thursday starts off weird, muggy, cloudy, and there's definitely going to be some sprinkles across the area on Thursday morning. By Thursday afternoon, we see that front get a little bit closer to us. We're probably going to start getting at least some scattered showers heading into the afternoon on Thursday. By Thursday evening, and really Thursday late night, that's when the brunt of this cold front is going to be more into our area here, draped across the state, and we'll start to see the frequency of the showers pick up. How heavy the showers are, that's going to pick up as well. And then it's really overnight Thursday into the early morning hours of Friday that the bulk of this rainfall arrives here in our area. And I will note, it's that time of year we start looking for the potential signs that this could be a couple of thunderstorms as well. I think that we have the potential for that as well. Right now, it's still in the long range. It's definitely not set in stone, but I think that we could potentially be talking about a couple of thunderstorms in this overnight time frame as well. So we're at early Friday morning. Again, the bulk of it is here. This is early when you would be sleeping, but even as we kind of turn into waking up hours, early morning commute hours, some of this rainfall may still be sticking with us. So once this front can leave our area, it'll take the rainfall with it, but some of that may linger around into the time when you're starting your day on Friday morning. So it's this front coming through. It's going to bring us some widespread rain chances that start light on Thursday morning and gradually get a little bit heavier as we go throughout the day. The bulk of it late night Thursday, overnight into early Friday morning, and that's also when we could potentially be watching for a couple of thunderstorms as well. Right now, we're not in any sort of severe weather risk. There's no outlooks or anything like that. That's just the potential that I think is there with this kind of system moving into our area in this time of year. Then What happens here is I know that it looks like the DFS is trying to hold on to the rainfall all the way into Friday night, but I really think the bulk of that moisture will be out of our area after this front comes through. And you can see that the Euro here in blue, not really buying what the GFS here has in our area. I think by Friday night, we'll see most of this move out with this low pressure system that pushes off of the coast. We may wake up to some clouds on Saturday morning, but by Saturday afternoon, all of that should move out and we really shouldn't have rain chances for the upcoming weekend. So in terms of Friday night plans, I think they'll look okay. You may have an occasional light shower or two if the GFS is right, but overall I really think most of the rain should be moving out in that Friday morning time frame. And then as we move into the weekend, I don't have any rain chances besides it may be at 10% to cover the bases for what you see here, but hopefully I'm able to kind of back that off as we get into the higher resolution models here in the next couple of days. So let's talk a little bit more about what totals we're expecting to see from that. And then I also want to touch on the fact that our Daybreak sleep out, that is on Thursday night as well. So that is when folks are trying to sleep outside to experience what being unhoused during the winter time is like, raising awareness, and it's a fundraiser for the Daybreak Center as well. That is on Thursday night, so we'll talk a little bit more about what that forecast could look like with the rain. So this is the future view rainfall projection by the European model, the one we just looked at in blue. And basically all I want you to take away from this is that it could be a similar situation to what we just saw this past weekend. When we start to see the shading be blue, that's when we usually get a good indication that yes, this is probably going to be a substantial rainmaker in the heavier spots. We could see higher totals than this, but we're probably looking at around an inch of rainfall in most areas. The GFS kind of reflects the same type of thing. Once you see the blue, again, that's when we're looking at least an inch of rainfall for most of the area. So again, that's a good thing for us. We need the rain. You just saw the drought monitor. We really need moisture in our area as much as we can get. It's really just a bad thing for this Daybreak sleep out. Because obviously it's going to make it a little bit uncomfortable to go to sleep outside in the tents. Like I said, you just kind of saw the timing of everything. We are a little early to have specific temperature details. Some of this could definitely change, but I wanted to go ahead and throw this graphic out there early because this is probably something that folks are looking forward to in the end of the week. It will be pretty warm. The temperatures as we head into the second half of the week are going to begin to warm up, like I mentioned. So temperatures might not necessarily be the problem. It's just going to be pretty rainy. As we get to the late night hours, remember the shower frequency and the heaviness of the shower starts to increase. Potentially even some thunderstorms. I've opted for just rain for now until we get a little bit more clarity on that. But if this is something that you're attending or you're interested in, or you have folks who are attending, the forecast is definitely something you'll want to keep up with. It looks like we could have showers. It's almost guaranteed that we're going to have some sort of shower, and we could also have a couple of thunderstorms as well. So something to keep your eye on towards the end of the week. But you just kind of saw at least the temperatures won't be so bad. So as we go through the next couple of days, we are going to be on a pretty big warm up. So for the rest of this afternoon, it's going to be pretty bitterly cold. And then as we get ready to kick off Tuesday morning, Monday and Tuesday are two very similar days. Tuesday morning, I know that the graph tries to keep us in the 30s. I think we'll be down in the 20s to kick off the morning on Tuesday. Good news is, take a look at how those winds have changed by Tuesday coming out of the southwest. That means by Tuesday afternoon, we'll be able to warm up just a little bit. So we'll be in the 50s as opposed to the 40s, and then watch the stair step through the next couple of days. Out of the 20s by Wednesday morning into the 40s. We'll take that. And then out of the 50s into the upper 60s. So the temperatures are just going to get warmer every single day. We'll be in the 60s, upper 60s really by Wednesday. And then as that rain chance moves in for Thursday, our temperatures are going to be back in the 70s. How about the winds that are out there right now? Do we get to lose those? Yes, pretty soon too. It's really mostly just today that we're going to be dealing with those. Wind gusts today are around that 25 mile an hour range, sometimes a little higher, sometimes a little lower. Definitely impactful enough to notice the breeze and feel it in terms of the wind chill. By tomorrow morning, it won't be a factor anymore. We really will have light winds or winds that we're used to seeing, and the wind chill shouldn't be much of a factor through the day tomorrow either. So you'll see the wind chill as we kind of go through this graphic here. Through the rest of the day, like I said, it's a good 10-degree difference when you factor in the wind. So if our high today is going to be in the upper 40s, it's going to feel more like the upper 30s. Then tomorrow morning, the wind chill not going to be a factor, but I actually think that this graphic does a little bit of a better job showing the actual morning temperature. We'll be somewhere in the upper 20s tomorrow morning, and then we don't really have to worry about wind chill after that. 50s by the afternoon, and again, by Wednesday, we are feeling more like we should be for this time of year. 40s in the morning, 60s in the afternoon. So that is kind of the forecast here for the next couple of days. I'm going to recap it on the 7-day forecast here in just a moment, but before I let you go, I just wanted to show what things that we're looking forward to here for the next couple of weeks, because there is a lot of change on the horizon. Actually, March is now on the 7-day forecast, so the first day of March is on Sunday, and that means the time change is not far ahead of us. We've got 13 days until the time change, so just over 2 weeks. That's when we spring forward. So that's when you're going to be losing an hour of sleep. But it is a kind of a good thing for those who like when the sun comes up a little bit later and also stays up a little bit longer. This is the time change where we start gaining more daylight hours, and that will be the case after March 11th, I believe is the date, but don't quote me on that, because in 13 days from now, whatever 13 days from now is going to be the time change. Then we also have St. Patrick's Day at the end of the month of March. Very exciting. And not far behind that is the first day of spring. So we do have, our meteorological spring starts on March 1st, but the autumnal spring, or the spring equinox, is on March 23rd. Again, do not quote me on these. That's pretty close to what it is. Whatever 25 days from now is going to be the first official day of spring. Again, the temperatures will begin to improve. The daylight is going to be increasing. It's just going to be a good thing for all. And then we have Easter coming up after that. So all the springtime things are on the way, and then we're getting a little bit closer to the end of February. You start to kind of thaw out a little bit, and you're getting a taste of what is on the horizon. So that's just a couple of things to kind of keep on your calendar, keep in mind as we go into the next couple of weeks. But here is a look at your 7-day forecast where you can see that stair step a whole lot better. Through the next couple of days, it's going to be cold Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday will definitely be better than today, but notice we gradually work our way back up to the 70s by that rain chance on Thursday, and then we're going to stay in the 70s Thursday and Friday and through the weekend as well. Thursday is really going to be that main rain chance. Remember, it's going to start light in the morning, and then those showers are going to increase in frequency and I'm looking for the right word to say strength, but it's not necessarily strength. You're probably just going to see more rain throughout the day on Thursday into the overnight hours, and then that rain will begin to leave us as we go throughout Friday morning. Hopefully then, by Friday night, it's a dry night. You can go out to dinner. You can do your Friday night plans with no threat of rain. Then as we head into Saturday, I just have that 10% on there right now for the indiscrepancies on the long range models, but Saturday should be a clear day as well. And then we head into Sunday, the first day of March, with no rain chances. So it's a pretty good 7-day forecast here. Rain chances are minimal, and when we do have them, they are going to be much needed here for our area. And we'll have more details through the rest of the week about where things stand here in the month of February in terms of the amount of rainfall we've seen. And as we get closer to the end of the month, we'll be able to total all of those and see if we actually did hit our monthly average or not. But of course, you can find more information on the forecast every single day right here on 13 WMZ Plus at 11 a.m. I will be in again tomorrow morning right here, but you also can join Alex Pry Wednesday through Friday for his version of the extended forecast as well. So with that, thank you so much for joining me this morning, and I hope to see you again tomorrow morning right here at this time.